Hey everyone, thanks for being here. It's springtime and the Harley demo trucks are out and about making their weekend stops so that riders can check out the various 2024 Harley models. We're continuing on with our bike comparison videos from my test rides, a series I'm now calling the 2024 Versus series. You can view the full series here. I also invite you to subscribe and hit that like and notification buttons. If you like the video, I'd really appreciate that. For those of you who have been following the series, you might want to use the chapter links below to skip to the review. The next couple of minutes of intro are going to sound a little familiar. For those who haven't seen any of the comparison videos yet, there's something very important to be aware of if you choose to check out one of these demo weekends. When you're a rider with at least some level of experience, these rides can be a bit challenging depending on the riders in front of you. Some of them can be quite new and are still afraid of the bikes or a little unsure of themselves, which can slow things down. I think one of my pet peeves is people who slow way down on the corners so that they don't have to lean the bike very much. Part of the challenge, I know, is that you're riding different styles of bikes. Some have mid controls, some have forward controls, some have floorboards, some have foot pegs. A couple of them have heel-toe shifters. On some, the clutch engages right away. On others, it's almost all the way out before it engages. So it really can be challenging to go from bike to bike. Each one has a different feel to it. But still, if you're not going to lean your bike going around a corner, in my opinion, go ride a trike. Let's talk about the bikes that are available to ride this year on the demo weekends. We have the Nystr Special, the Sportster S, the Pan America Special, and the CVO Pan America, the Street Bob, the Fat Boy, the Lowrider S and Lowrider ST, the Breakout, the Heritage Classic, Road King Special, Street Glide, Road Glide, CVO Street Glide, CVO Road Glide ST, Road Glide Limited, Ultra Limited, and the Road Glide 3 Trike. Here in PA, if you ride a trike, you have to have a special license for that. So that one was actually set aside in case anyone came in who wanted to do that. The bikes that are not in the lineup are the Nystr Standard, Softail Standard, CVO Road Glide, since they have the CVO Road Glide ST in there, the Freewheeler and Tri-Glide Ultra Trikes, and of course the Hydra Glide, which is this year's icon bike. The only two bikes I did not ride were the Pan America Special and the CVO Pan America, because Short Legs McShorty Pants here, with his 29-inch inseam, did not feel like dealing with the 31-inch seat height on those bikes. I know the seat height's lower when you're coming to a stop and when you're at a stop, and then they kick back up when you're riding. I know all that, but even at their lowest, I think the lowest is 30.5 inches, and I would rather get some more experience riding bikes with a taller seat height before I go to ride one of those in particular. I have no idea when that's going to happen. Today we're talking about the Street Glide Standard and the CVO Street Glide versus the Road Glide Standard and the CVO Road Glide ST. It's not a very good apples to apples comparison. In the demo truck this year, they don't have the standard CVO Road Glide. They only have the CVO Road Glide ST, which is not really apples to apples with the CVO Street Glide. Also, the Road Glide Standard they have on this particular demo truck, as I've mentioned before, has the King Tour Pack on the back, and the Street Glide doesn't, so that affects the comparison as well. But we're going to give it our best shot. I already did a video on the Road Glides. You can see that here. This video footage is on the Street Glides, but we'll compare the Road Glide experience versus the Street Glide experience as a whole. Obviously, we know that the CVOs had more power with the 121 engine. The CVO Street Glide 121 produces 139 foot-pounds of torque and 115 horsepower. The CVO Street Glide ST is retuned up to 145 foot-pounds of torque and 127 horsepower, big jump there. The 117 engine on the Road Glide and Street Glide Standard produces 130 foot-pounds of torque and 105 horsepower. The CVOs have the upgraded audio package with the extra speakers in the saddlebags. I'm curious if anyone has seen any real benefit to having speakers in the saddlebags. If you have, leave a comment below. I would think the wind would carry the sound back behind you and you wouldn't really hear them anyway. Plus, it reduces the amount of storage space you have in your saddlebags. I guess if you're carrying a passenger, it would be helpful for them. I don't know. Anyway, the CVO has special graphics, a special seat, stuff like that to go along with the upgraded engine and audio package. Those are the only real differences you get for the $17,000 plus difference in price between the standard models and the base CVOs. Talk about your status symbol. If you've watched any number of my videos, you probably know that I'm a big fan of the Batwing fairing. I've owned both an Indian Chieftain and now own a Street Glide, so I was looking forward to these rides to see if the upgraded fairings they've put out this year have made a big difference. Of course, you don't really get to experience the power of the engines when in a demo group ride like this because you're limited to the dynamics and the speed of the group. First, let's talk about wind management. Honestly, I wasn't terribly impressed on any of them. They are better, but not great. The windshields on these fairings are okay. I know I said in my other Road Glide video that the wind management is better, but that's in comparison to my 2017 Street Glide. It's nice that they have made the fairing vent adjustable. In previous versions, you had an open or closed vent, that's all. I tried a couple different settings, and it really didn't seem to make any difference in how the wind felt to me, regardless of where I put the vent. One thing is for sure though, if I were to get one of these bikes, like 5 years from now when I can afford it, I would definitely be putting a taller windscreen on it, probably something like what's on the Ultra Limited or the Road Glide Limited. These new fairings and vents are better, but they're not amazing and fantastic. You're still going to want a taller windscreen on these if you really want good wind management and are going to be doing a lot of highway miles. All right, now let's talk about ground clearance. When I rode the Street Glide, I scraped the pegs 2 or 3 times during the ride. I don't know if I was just riding a lot more aggressively than I typically do. I'm not sure. I did research and found that the ground clearance on the Street Glides is a 1/4 inch lower than the Road Glides. They have the same lean angle, so same lean angle, 1/4 inch lower, means it's going to be a little bit easier to scrape the pegs, just a little bit. I didn't scrape the pegs when riding the Road Glides. That could also have been based on how aggressively I was taking corners. Another thing I noticed this year, I don't know if they were there in the fall or not, I didn't notice that, but they have little scrape protection pegs on the underside of some of the floorboards and foot pegs for these motorbikes, obviously to protect the floorboards and foot pegs from getting damaged from people scraping them. I didn't even know that was a thing. I learned about something new on these bikes. They have a little tray underneath the 12-inch LCD panel. I don't know why I didn't notice that before, but I just happened to be walking by one of the bikes in between rides and one of the guys pushed the little button and out pops this tray. You can put your wallet or keys or whatever, sunglasses or whatever you want in there. It's pretty cool. Anyway, I guess to sum it all up, it really is a toss-up between the two. I like the look, they have plenty of power, there's nothing glaringly wrong or bad about any of them. I like the tall bars on the Road Glide Standard as well. That is definitely a plus in my mind. But I prefer the Batwing fairing. So I've got pros and cons to each one, and it's kind of a pick what you like or dislike the most about them. Let me know what you think. If you've had any experience on these bikes, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, everyone. God bless.